What is going on, everyone, and welcome to That Kind of Love Podcast, episode 23. How y'all doing?
What's that?
How are you?
I'm alright.
Cool.
Now that you just told me to shut up.
Shut up. I'll say it again. Did you hear it one more time? Okay. So we have an interesting topic today. And I've been seeing this a lot on Facebook.
Well, first, how was our weekend? We didn't have a podcast last week because, of course, it was Father's Day. Mm-hmm. But how was this weekend?
It was fine.
What did we do? Did we do anything yesterday?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's usually how you start it, so I was just trying to be...
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, today's topic is pretty interesting. And I find it kind of rude that Trey did not just tell me happy birthday on the podcast. But it's cool.
Oh my God.
But it's cool. No big deal.
I was going to get to that. You looking at me like you wanted to move forward.
No big deal.
Oh my God.
It's cool.
No.
It's cool.
Everybody stop.
It don't matter no more.
No. Everybody
cool.
stop.
It's
Today,
cool.
Wait. We got to start this way. Today is a very special day. You know why? We're having a podcast, but most importantly, it is my wife's... Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
No.
Look at the camera.
No.
It is my wife's birthday.
No. You know why? Because it's the second time today I had to make him tell me happy birthday.
No. When we woke up this morning, I told you
birthday, right?
in the beginning, happy birthday.
You're right. He's right. But then he was on his phone all day, but at no point did he make a post about me.
How you know I wasn't about to do it?
I had to tell him to tell everybody to tell me happy birthday.
How did you know I wasn't about to do it?
Because you were just sitting there chilling.
What time was
at your mama's
that?
house.
Okay, I could have been chilling at that time. You never know what I would have done later on.
Nah.
So you don't know what I had planned.
Nah, nigga.
Whatever, dog.
You real ratchet.
Bro.
We started the podcast off and I immediately said it was your birthday.
Well, that's you. I want to do it my own special way.
By not saying it at all?
The podcast ain't over.
You just gonna wait to the middle or the end?
Yes. The middle. Right when it's getting good. I wanted to stop.
And you know I was gonna sock you in your mouth.
That's what it's for.
I still owe you
It's supposed to be spontaneous.
Don't touch me. Anyway.
Y'all, I'm not bad.
No.
I am not bad.
He full of it. He rude.
I am not that bad.
He rude.
Y'all.
Anyway.
She said, I'm a Hodge mixed with the teamer. You supposed to be on my side. You gotta pump me up.
Nope,
all right, family? You gotta pump me up. Because he ratchet
for that. We was gonna start the whole podcast. Yeah. And he wasn't gonna
Brianna
say
said no violence, nigga. She said no violence, Logan. But she said no violence. And I said...
He gonna get socked in his mouth.
Whatever. Whatever.
Rudeness. Don't tell nobody happy birthday.
I told...
It don't matter.
I tell her happy birthday. I got her what she wanted. I do all this stuff. I'm actually wanting to do more, but she's like, no, don't do. I don't want nothing else. Blah, blah, blah.
They ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Nah.
It's about you not telling me happy birthday. Go on the podcast. What?
Was gonna do it when he was ready and make it special. Thank you, Marcy, through. Thank you.
I know that you love Trey.
Gosh.
But he is full of it because if we would have been midway in the podcast and he just randomly go, oh yeah, happy birthday, he's going to get socked in the mouth.
It wasn't going to be like that. Definitely.
It wasn't going to be like.
It wasn't going to be like that.
Tell me.
It was going to. I ain't about to. You spoiled it for yourself.
No, tell me.
You spoiled it for yourself. No. Because you don't get that privilege.
You weren't planning on that.
You don't get that privilege.
Anyway. Sorry, y'all had to listen to us banter about how
this is
horrible.
This is how we argue.
But it's cool.
This is how we argue.
Anyway, today's topic is about women proposing. If you did not read the title, that's what it's going to be about.
Today is Logan's birthday. Happy birthday, babe.
Move your hand. Move your hand. Get up, nigga. Thanks.
Good times. All right. Yes, happy birthday. He was gonna be like, excuse me, y'all. It's a special day if y'all ain't know.
That's why y'all both get on my nerves. Anyways.
All right.
Anyways, can we get on topic now?
I don't know, can we?
Are you good?
Yeah, for now. Might have another one in me.
Start moving. So today's topic, once again, if I didn't say it already, is about women proposing. And I want to talk about this because on Facebook for like the past week or two, I don't know if y'all been seeing this post, but it's been like a cartoon picture of like a woman proposing to a wow, that's real rude.
I'm sorry.
Proposing to a man, and people has been putting the caption of like thoughts, like what's your thoughts on this? And I was like, you know what, that's a good topic. I feel like that's we most likely won't get mixed thoughts on it. I feel like everybody might have the same thought process on it. Mm-hmm. But if you've seen the picture, I think he's about to pull it up.
I'm gonna try to.
But if you've seen the picture, like, what is your thoughts on that? Like, women proposing, just in general. Like, I guess I want to ask Trey, like, so would you be okay with it? Like, if I was just like, I propose to you, like, in front of everybody. And then I also seen like a video. I think there've been like videos circulating of like women proposing.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah. And then for me, like, would I do it? No. And that's just not my personality. It is not to do that. And I don't even know why. Like, we were talking about this earlier. I was like, I don't even know why I wouldn't do it. It's like, I don't know if I'm lazy or like what. I just don't. I don't know. I just personally, I wouldn't do it. I have my own thoughts on it. We're going to get into probably why I wouldn't do it. But for right now, flat out, no, I wouldn't do it. Yeah. So, like, what's your thoughts on it? Like, I think for me, I'm just going to speculate. I think for men, the reason why they really wouldn't want it to happen, I think it's the down on one knee thing.
Yeah. that's what I would say.
Yeah, I think that's a little weird. Like, you standing there and your girl down on one knee, and she present you with a ring. Like, yeah. Like I feel like that'd be that's what makes it weird for y'all.
Yeah, I don't know, it's something about the knee thing. It's kind of like I'm bowing to you, or I'm like kind of like honoring you. Like, I want you to be a part of what I have, and for women to do that, yeah, it's just weird to me. Yeah. I don't really like it.
Like, how y'all feel? Like, men, if you're listening, like, how would you feel if your girl got down on one knee and proposed to you? And then I was also saying, for me personally, like I said, whatever floats your boat, sis, you do. If you feel like this the man of your dreams and the only way y'all gonna get married is if you propose, which is red flag already. But we're gonna get to that. Like, I feel like it'd be different if people had a different response if you're gonna be a woman to propose, at least do it a different way. Mm-hmm. Like, don't do it the traditional man way, because now you feel like you kind of like taking away his masculinity or something. Like, I'm just gonna, oh hey, I'm gonna present you with a ring, like, here, like, this is weird. Like, and honestly, I have to say, it could be just society, like what society has like put on us, saying like the man has to propose. Mm-hmm. Like, it ain't gonna work if he don't propose, which I don't believe. I don't believe it wouldn't work for these people. I just think if that's what you want your role to be, then that's what they say. Like, if that's what you want your role to be, then go for it.
Chelsea said women are normally more ready than I know this is a mistake. She said women are normally more ready than women.
Than men.
Yeah, than men. I know. So it's like she might be pushing him. So,
yeah, that is.
I feel like I read that very slow.
You just realized that you read slow?
Yeah. Yeah. But for sure.
Yeah. No, but yeah, like, and I guess that's another part into it too, because for me, okay, so the reason why I feel like it should be the man, like, I feel like I would never do it, is because I honestly believe that your man should love you a little bit more than you love him. Right? And that sounds crazy, and he looking stupid because he planned on doing that. But I think...
No, every time I hear it, it's just like...
No, it doesn't, because I've said it multiple times.
You know you love me more.
You guys, let's take a poll. Do you think Trey loves me more or I love him more? Let's do
Didn't work for Jim Jones and his old lady. So what? I guess Jim Jones.
Oh, yeah, she did propose to him, didn't she? I think so. Yeah, that didn't work out too well. But that's not, like, the reason why I say that is because, okay, the way, like, this is not a general thing, but for the most part, the way women are, we put up with a lot more than men would normally put up with. We have the instinct of taking care of and doing stuff like that. So we initially kind of just take on more than what's necessary than a man would most likely take on, right? And that's not being super dramatic on a super scale. Like, obviously, if I do some shit that's gonna piss him off, he might deal with it because he loved me, but for the most part, he can probably do a lot more stuff than I could do to him without the scale being unbalanced. For the most part, it's true. Anyway.
I can't.
I'm trying to go. Struggling. No. You're just liking the comment over.
No, I'm trying to press see more. It's not letting me. She said, I mean, that's a major red flag to me. He's not showing enough effort to get you. How long do you think a woman should... Oh, there we go. A woman should wait before she gives up on a relationship if he's procrastinating. Well, that's a whole nother thing.
Well, no, it's in the same thing. So, another thing that we were going to get into is, like, why... Well, let me finish all saying, then we'll kind of, like...
We're going to get into that, family. And then Tamara said, y'all both equally love each other, which means...
Which is true.
Which means she loves me more.
No, that is absolutely true. I did not say that the woman shouldn't absolutely love the man with all his heart, but what I'm saying is that man should probably love her a little bit more, because a lot of times the way they're set up as far as, like being with somebody... So you're going to lie to me right now? You're going to be like... As far as, like, men not cheating and doing things like that, it's about decisions to make. And if he feel like he can get away with certain stuff, he gonna do it.
I mean, yeah, but
so in
the whole thing about loving more, I don't. That's we'll just go on because that's.
We don't have to go on. I haven't finished explaining it. You're just completely shutting the whole thing down because you're still stuck.
Okay. Well, let me ask this: what do you mean by love? Like. What love are you talking about? Because there's many different types of love.
What's the many types of love? So
my love could be what I do for you. I bring food home. I make sure you're good. I take care of you. Your love can be relationship. Being together. I treat you well. Like, it can be different things. So if you're saying that women put up a lot more than men, but some men put up more
than women. Absolutely, yeah. And that's how we got here, nigga. Sorry, y'all. This is how we've been talking to each other for like the past 5 days. So, no, I'm not... Okay, you're looking at it from... I'm saying that you love me this much, and I'm, like, putting in 10%. I'm not saying that. No, you're acting like I'm saying that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it has to be so much more than this. I'm just saying, based off whatever, if you go to somebody and they literally... I met one of his friends at my job, and literally the first thing she said was... Oh my gosh, Trey loves you so much. Right? So, somebody see you, they gonna go, oh, Logan loves you so much. Which is so rude and mean, because I do love him so much. But I feel like this dynamic, and you proposed to me, and this dynamic is because of that reason.
But why do you think she said, I love you so much?
I don't know, because you do.
No. That's because she sees you on my timeline all the time. Yeah. That's her expression of love.
Which is fine. So okay. We're not going to get anywhere with this because we just have to agree to disagree.
No, she's just trying to be right.
Shit like that pisses me off when you say it. So I don't even know why you said it.
I'm sorry.
Don't even know why you said it.
I'm sorry. I do apologize for that.
He don't apologize.
I know, I really do. I really do. I didn't want to get you to that point, but...
Communication. Okay, anyway, back to the other comment. Who said it?
My cousin. She said...
What up, cuz?
That's a major red flag to me. He's not showing enough effort to get you. How long do you think a woman should wait before she gives up on a relationship if he's procrastinating?
Okay, so yeah, so that brings us to the question of why did the woman choose to propose? Like, why was that even like a thought? And it's usually because the man was taking too long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's two things that can happen with this. When I guess for me that I'm thinking hypothetically, because I've never been in that situation. So one, either the dude taking too long, so you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna just do it. Like maybe he's just waiting.
He just
like,
need a wake up.
Yeah, like
wake up call.
Yeah, maybe he's just waiting. Or two, you just completely messed up the whole proposal.
Yeah.
Like, what if he was planning on proposing and you just took it upon your own hands because you impatient and like rude? So as far as like how long should you wait? That's completely up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why you have to have plans. Like you can't just go into something and be like, free balling.
Yeah.
Like
one day we gonna get married.
Like you can go year by year because I think everything is very circumstantial. But I'm also like, you still gotta have a plan. Like for us, I was like, you got 3 years.
Yeah, and she told me that. Well, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, like we've been together for a minute.
Yeah, we've been together for like 2 years.
Yeah,
we was together like 2 years.
So then I was just like, look, you got 2-3 years. Like I prefer to be married before 30.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the older we got, the more that number got pushed back a little bit. Because I was like, but you have to have a plan for yourself and like the relationship. If you don't have a plan for it, then of course they gonna procrastinate.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta give men timelines.
Like,
you gotta tell them what you want. If you don't tell them, they gonna do what they want.
Just like I tell people, a dream is just a goal without a deadline. I think something like that. A dream is just a goal without.
You tell people something like
no,
that.
a goal.
What do you actually?
A dream is just a goal without a timeline, without a deadline. So if you don't give somebody a deadline to what you want to happen, they ain't gonna never do it.
And that don't mean be like, look, you got 2 after 2
you got
years,
2 months.
I'm leaving you.
You got 2 months.
It's not like, oh, I'm leaving you. Like it's done. It's a matter of, for the most time, tell me if I'm wrong, most men don't propose. One, because they don't want to marry you. Or two, they feel like they have to accomplish a whole bunch of other things before they can marry you.
Yeah, as a man, we want to feel like we at least have it all together. I have like a good base or foundation so the woman can just come in and flourish as a woman. But 9 times out of 10, that don't really happen.
And that's usually why they choose not to propose, and then for you to kind of like uproot that and be like, I'm just gonna do it, that's not gonna make them say yes or
like I'm not even ready.
Like
you pushing the envelope, I ain't even ready.
That's usually what happens. So I was like, after looking at the picture, I was like, dang, that really bothers me. Like I don't know why it really bothers me. And I was like, I guess the question is like, what is the problem with it? Because like I said, I'm more like, do you, sis? Like, hey girl, if you see a dude at the bar and you feel like you like him or you want to know him, go for it. If you've been talking to a dude for a while, he didn't ask you out for whatever reason, probably because he's scared or think you're going to say no, and you ask him out, then that's fine. Just remember you got to pay for that date. But there's rules to this. Like, that's another thing, a whole nother topic that's kind of in the same, sorry, we're watching the BET Awards, it's on. And it's weird watching concerts with no music.
She said, my cousin said, so what advice would you give to the new generation on this?
You know what, dude? Should we just skip to that part? Just to answer that question.
Do you think we'll be able to go back? Well, we'll give a little bit. We'll give a little tip.
Well, yeah. So we've come up with like certain like steps on how to get to the engagement stage, and
just with the first one.
So yeah, we'll start with the first one. Like we'll tell you the first one, then we'll go back, and then towards the end we'll finish them. So this is for people who are actually in relationships, not situationships. So and you have to be clear. You have to clarify that because today's kids, even our age, like because we're still in this generation per se, but for the most part, they are in situationships that they think are relationships, and then when it doesn't work out, they want to be upset about stuff. So it's crazy. But anyway, real quick, like and share.
Yeah.
So everybody can see this real quick. We will really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Or tag somebody in who you feel like will get a good laugh or learn something that they need to know. But the first step that we kind of conjured up a few minutes ago was have realistic expectations. So that's why the whole knowing what you're in, knowing if it's a situationship or a relationship. A relationship is when two people sat down and had an actual conversation about them being exclusive and about them wanting to be with just each other, right? And you have to know who you're dating. So I guess for us, like I knew who I was dating. I was dating a person who I knew was focused on being in a relationship, not somebody who was just focused on being with with me.
Yeah.
Like, just to say we together, or like for show or anything like that. So, I mean, that worked.
Yeah.
So let me.
Oh, my bad.
So so that's the first step. Just having realistic expectations. You can't try to get engaged to somebody who can't even commit to a dinner date.
Yeah.
Like, you want them to marry you, but they can't commit to coming home on time, or being on time to certain places,
or spending the paycheck correctly,
or introducing you to their parents or the people that they cool with, or the people they consider family.
Yeah.
So you have to have those realistic expectations before you even think about trying to force somebody. That sounds so bad, but we're talking about that. We're talking about women just kind of jumping the gun and proposing. So trying to force somebody to become your husband.
Yeah.
So
Tamara
childish.
said, that's what I was told. I want to be already on my P's and Q's. Meanwhile, it's 3-4 years later. My nigga, I'm over it. I ain't asking nobody to marry me, so boom, I'm single.
I mean, that's real. That is real, and that's usually how it goes. So it's like, so for the most part, everything goes back to how you were raised and what society tells you. And for men, it's hard. Like, I got to give it to them. It is hard because you see so much, and society tells you. And you have women who don't have those realistic expectations, where they're just like, you know what, my man need to have a house, a car, he need to have all the money. If I don't want to work, then I shouldn't have to work. But let alone, they're not doing nothing to help that man get to that spot.
Yeah.
So it's not our jobs to do that, especially if we're not married. Like, you haven't even proposed to us. Like, of course I'm not about to do all that work, and I could possibly not even reap any of the benefits. But I mean, it's just about society, about, like I said, telling us that you have to have all this together before you get married. But if you look at the realistic aspects of it, which, aka your parents and grandparents, they didn't have nothing when they got married.
Yeah.
Like, majority of them didn't have that unless they got married twice or they got married at a later age. But for the most part, they didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
They just knew that they wanted to build that together. They want to have that family life and all that wealth and things together. So they decided, hey, let's just get the papers out the way and get married, and then we can build all that together.
Yeah, and Tamara, from what you were saying, like exactly what she was saying, some of these guys out here, they tell you, you know, I want to get my stuff together, but it's all about making sure y'all have those conversations. All right, 6 months in, how we looking? How far have we gotten? Where you at? And if they are receptive to that, then you see, you know, you can see where their progress is. But if they not receptive, if they not, you know, taking the actual steps to move forward, if you have to keep on reminding them about, all right, you said, you know, you're trying to get your stuff together, then those are just like keys that, you know, they not even ready for.
No, for sure. And then that leads us to the second step, like, for, you know, how to get to that engagement stage. Remembering, in relationships, not situationships. I feel like I have to keep saying that because I think as time goes on, people will confuse these things. For those of you who are just joining, if you didn't read the title, we're talking about women proposing. And right now, at this very second, we're giving certain steps that you could probably be taking or keep in the back of your mind if you're in a relationship and you want to get to the engagement stage before as a woman you decide to jump the gun and propose, right? Or if you're trying to figure out what's your man thinking, just ask him. Yeah, he'll tell you straight up.
Yeah. But if he do one of these, I don't know what you think.
So the first step was have realistic expectations. Know who you're in a relationship with and know where the potential of that is going. Because the problem is we don't look at where the potential is going. You just think about what you want and what you see in the future. You skip the present. You skip the present. So you have to have realistic expectations of what the future is going to look like.
And I'm going to jump in there. That's why it's so important to know what you want. Yeah. Well, know what you want for yourself. And then you can find out what you want for a mate. You can't ask of somebody something that you think that you want for them, but you don't know what you want for yourself first. So find out what you want for yourself first. What kind of life you want to have. What kind of way you want to live life, and then see to somebody adding to that, helping you get to that point.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Chelsea said it's about growing together. Tamara said. Exactly.
No, for sure. And I think, you know, speaking on that, I think that's where a lot of people get misconstrued on what marriage is or what a relationship is. 'Cause I think our last podcast before, we was like, what's the point of relationships? And we kind of touched on that a little bit. just knowing that like the point of them is not to already have it together and then just live your life with that one person having it together. It's about two people bringing something together and making something better. But anyway, so then the next step is, after having realistic expectations, the second step would be knowing where you are in life. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the times people like to jump the gun because they feel like they're a little ahead than the person that they're with.
Come on, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. We're just going to get that again.
Yeah, and for, like, once again, for men, because they are built to be providers, they're built to be technically the head of the household. They're meant to be the ones that not keep everything in place because the woman does that, but make sure that everybody's good.
The foundation.
Yeah,
that holds.
If the man is broken, most likely the household is going to be a little rocky.
The man is the foundation that makes sure he upholds the family. Make sure they got everything.
Yeah,
they need,
so you have to know the timing. You have to know where he is in his life at that moment. Mm-hmm. He just lost his job. He ain't feeling too great. He can go get another one, but he's kind of in that down stage. And you yelling about marriage? Oh, that's not going to happen. Yeah. That's not going to happen. He's building his business. He's in the startup part of his life, in his business, and he's stressed out because it's hard to start a business. And you hollering at him about a ring is not going to happen. Yeah. Like, his relationship with his parents aren't that great, so he's not understanding the value of marriage and how it should work out because he just saw it crumble in his face. He's not ready. So it's like you have to know what timing, like the timing has to be good. And it sounds cliche and it sounds crazy because you're just like, well, you can make time. Like you can. Marriage is an emotional state. Yeah. You're telling this man to spend the rest of his life with you. And if you can't help him, if you can't understand where he is at the moment emotionally, anyway, then it's not gonna last. Yeah. Because
we were together for I proposed like a year and a half before we got married. And the time that I proposed, we were in no condition to get married whatsoever. But the thing is, we both knew that. Like, we knew that it was going to be a little while before we actually got married. Money wasn't coming in like it should have been. So, but the thing is, we had that communication and we set those expectations. Like, look, you said in about 2 to 3 years. So I was preparing myself and getting myself ready to do that in about 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years has now come. I didn't rush it. I just felt like, all right, now is the time. I'm mentally ready. I'm physically ready. I'm ready to propose. I'm not ready to get married. I am ready to propose.
And this we're talking about engagement stage. We're talking about being engaged. We're talking about proposing. We're not necessarily talking about marriage because then that's more steps. It's more steps after that.
Yeah. And then Carla said, right, you have to be on the same page before making that big step for sure.
For sure.
Definitely.
So the first 2 steps, one was realistic expectations. Know who you're trying to get engaged to. Know what's going on. And then 2, know where they are in their life. You have to understand it. You might not like it.
Yeah.
But you have to understand it, and that's the big thing, because if you can't understand that, the marriage is not going to work in the first place.
And then if you can show that you can understand it and be there with him, that actually feels like he can give you like cool points where you're like, all right, bet she's a girl.
You get cool points.
Yeah, you get cool, like for real.
No,
if he sees that you are able to recognize where he is and work with him from where he is to get to where y'all trying to be, then that's like cool points. A man will be like, bet, like she can work with me on my down times and my down stages and help. We still can work towards a place where we're trying to get to and not get pressured and all that stuff. Bet. I know that made me feel real well whenever I was going through like some hard times. So
and then the third one was have future talks and listen. So with Trey and I like to tell the story because I think it's funny. It's not even funny. It's just like, so when Trey proposed to me, right? We were already together, 5 years? It was what?
We were in the 5th year. 4.
We was in the 5th year.
It was 4.
4?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was March
6 years.
2017.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like 4. We were already together for 4 years. So when he proposed to me, don't get me wrong, I was like super excited. I was like shocked. Like he really got me, right? But then like the next few days, everybody was like, "You got engaged?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I mean, like I'm not excited, but I'm not shocked because we had a lot of future talk, right? And having those conversations kept me from not pressuring him to propose sooner, right? So if you don't have these conversations and not just you doing all the talking, the problem is majority of the time women, we do a lot of talking because society tells us we have to be married by a certain age, and then we get that in our head like, oh, we got to get married as soon as we possibly can and have kids and do all these things. You're not on any timeline. Yeah. So we had these conversations, and we talked, and I actually listened to what he was saying and the things that he possibly needed to want to propose, right? So that's honestly step 3 is if you're not even having these conversations, then one, you don't even know what's going on.
And you know what's how I know she listened, because I was telling her like the dreams and the goals that I wanted to have. And there was a point where I was making good money, you know, I was doing real well for myself, but I really wanted to go after this business. And I thought that if I go at it full time and don't have my job in the way, because my job was taking up a lot of my time. So I was like, if I can get out of this job and work this business full time, I'll be good. And the thing that really stood out to me was she said, she was like, go ahead and do it. I think you should go ahead and do it. Was it the smartest thing to do? No, but she told me to go ahead and do it because she was like, I'd rather you do it now and get it out of your system than to do it, you know, than to do it later on when we married. So that showed me that, hey, I'm with you. Like, you want to do this? I'm with you on it. Even if I don't think it's the best decision that you can make, I'm with it because I see where you're wanting to go. I at least want you to try and put yourself out there. So that was a lot of cool points for her. So, yeah.
No, for sure. But just having, like I said, having that future talk and actually listening to what he was saying would be better. Because for the most time, men want certain things to be put in place before they start a family, because that's the smart thing to do. You don't want to be struggling when you get married or have kids and stuff. But if you also shut down all the stuff they want to do before they get married, then you just procrastinate the proposal.
Exactly.
You literally procrastinate. If I told him, nah, don't worry about it, you just keep
on working.
Job,
yeah, just keep on working.
I just made that timeline longer because now he's like, oh, if I gotta work to get the money, then it's gonna be 3 more years before I get it, before I can get a house and all that stuff. So it was crazy. And then the 4th one is timeline. So writing this one down, it was kind of tough to like explain because I was like, oh, timeline, that sounds so bad. Like, to tell your person like, hey, you got 3 years. I did it to him, just so y'all know. But you have to have some type of timeline, because not to put pressure on him to be like, hey, if you don't get together in 3 years, then I'm leaving or I'm dipping out. It's more so of a, hey, you got 3 years, because in 3 years I would like to be married. So now I'm telling him, hey, whatever you got going on that you feel like you need to accomplish or do, something needs to be kicking off in like this 3 years. Something needs to be happening in these 3 years that's making me think that we're even going to get engaged or even get married at some point. What you looking at?
I'm trying to share the
video.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think having that timeline, because if you don't, you'll get stuck in that black hole. You jump right into it, and then those 3 years that you said you needed, 2 more years to pop up, another year, like, and now you stuck, and you trying to figure out like, are we ever gonna get married? And trust me, ain't nobody gonna marry nothing that they can keep without getting married to it. Like, that's just how it's gonna be. If you told me 3 years ago we had to get married and I ain't proposed and now it's been 5, you good?
Well, and then
we happy.
And
why
then
change
the whole situation. Well, why we got to change now?
Why change it? We already live together.
What is marriage really?
We already got 3 kids. Like, what?
And then Chelsea said you have to have a timeline because you don't want to waste time. The most valuable years. Then y'all playing house.
No, like legit. Yeah. And and it's funny because when you grow up, especially if you grow up in a religious household where it's like, don't be shacking up, like, don't do these things. And for the most part, yeah, they just said it because it's like in the Bible or whatever. But if you really think about it, they were just saying it because you're gonna get stuck. Yeah. And it's not at that point, it has nothing to do with like religion. It's about your well-being and mental health. So they're like, hey, if you want to be married, if you want to have all these things, then I suggest you not even shack up, because why? Majority of the time, that's when you get stuck in it, and then you don't even get the things out of it that you want, because you already gave everything you had. Yeah,
where you gonna go if you leave? Like, you got to find a whole nother place to stay. You got to move back in with mama.
I mean, like, not even that. It's just like, if we're speaking just off the marriage basis, like, you gave everything. The whole point of marriage is to now be together forever. But if you already together
together forever, it's kind of
like, if you didn't propose or we didn't get married by now, and we already got a whole family and a whole mortgage together, then I was like,
what else is there?
Why spend our money on a marriage license?
Yeah.
Like, when we already doing it. Like, that's doing it. But that's funny. So, like, those were the 4 steps that we would give people who just want to know how to...
She said giving him the milk before he buys a cow.
No, for sure. Like, and people hate hearing it because there's so many... What are you doing?
That was my impression of giving milk. I didn't want to do like
But
this.
that's not how milk is given.
I didn't want to do like this. That's the whole...
But milk from a cow comes... Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. So sorry. But those are 4 steps that we would give to people. I mean, obviously there's other things that need to happen, but those, for the most part, just basic, like, general things. If you want to be engaged and you're in an actual relationship that you feel like is going somewhere, then I think you should follow these steps, or even hit some of these steps that you probably didn't even think of. But the biggest thing is communication. Like, if you feel like you really want to get married, just sit down and have the conversation. Don't hound them. Just have the conversation. But back to the actual, like, just the topic in general. And I guess, like we were saying, for the most part, it is, like, it's just not easy to look at because you're not used to seeing it. And that's usually how everything is. So we should probably get out that mindset. But it's like, why should it be the man? Like, why should the man be the one proposing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we want to ask that to y'all. Why do y'all think the man should propose in general?
Yeah, what's up for you for that?
Well, I'm right now. So I'm actually working on something right now. I think that we really need to work on, like, the men, especially our black men, and helping them, like, rise and get to that level of being able to prepare themselves for a woman and be able to take care of a woman. So I'm reading this book. You mind grabbing that book for me? It's right there. It's called Understanding the Purpose and Power of Men. It's a really good book by my mentor, Dr. Miles Monroe. And one of the things, I actually read this today. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. It says, when you think about it, God really made only one human being. When he created the female, he didn't go back into the soil, but he fashioned her from the side of the man. Only the male came directly from the earth. This was because the male was designed by God to be the foundation of the human family. The woman came out of the man rather than the earth because she was designed to rest on the man, to have the male as her supporter. So that doesn't sound like, whenever I see a woman proposing to a man, that doesn't sound like that the man is going to be the one supporting her. That doesn't sound like the woman is going to be resting on the man. That sounds like the woman is like trying to taking in
the man.
Yeah, because she's like, whenever I think of a woman proposing, it's like you said, either it's he waiting too long or I'm gonna miss out on this opportunity, so I need to get it while I can.
Yeah.
But if the woman is resting on the man, it's like, no, shawty, I got you. Like, you come with me. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna get it done. And that image it doesn't portray that same image if I see a woman proposing to a man. It just doesn't fit me right.
What is it?
Tamara said traditions. Okay. Tamara said traditions. We're conditioned. Okay.
No, for sure, yeah.
And then she said, but I still ain't doing it.
I'm
gonna stop calling you Tamara. I felt like that was
You don't feel like nothing. I just told you to stop doing it.
Yeah.
So you see how
I just
you
think
do.
it's funny.
You see?
No, but I felt it in my heart. She was probably looking at it like, that damn nigga. But
you did not feel it until I said something.
Tamara.
Because you was going to continue to say it.
Tatum. TT. No, I don't like that. No. But yeah.
No, but yeah. So for me, I feel like proposing is like, I feel like the purpose of the man proposing is be like, hey, I'm taking you in to be with me, like I'm gonna take care of you. So I'm proposing that you marry me so I can take care of you for the rest of my life and whatever comes out of our relationship, right? So then if the woman jumps the gun and decides to do that, like I said, do you, sis? It's 2019. If you feel like that's what you want to do, but just remember, that means you're trying to take on that role.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, just like I said before, I think people forget whoever asks who on a date is the one who needs to pay for it, right? If you're choosing to propose to me, then you're saying you want that role.
You want that position.
You taking me into your life. So now I'm finna come live at your house.
Yep.
What
we eating?
Don't be hollering about me talking about how I don't ever take care of you. And I was like, you proposed to me.
Yeah.
You proposed this relationship. So you're deciding to be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
So who paying these bills? Like, it's just about, I think men are supposed to chase women. Women ain't supposed to chase men.
Yeah, I agree.
And like I said, not because like I'm just against women's rights and things like that. Like I said, do you, sis, if that's what you want to do. If you feel like the only way stuff don't get done is if you go for it. But don't act crazy when that man start to act like the woman and choose not to take care of certain stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the day off. Cause I just don't feel
it's
like
it's just weird. It's like you can't at that point do what you gotta do, but just if you still want him to act a certain way, then you need to back up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds crazy. You gotta stroke the ego a little bit. You can't always be I'm gonna take control. I'm gonna pay for this. I'm gonna make sure everything's get done.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's a societal thing. I'm sure it's changing. I'm sure it is. I'm just letting you know, if you want those roles, then you have to take on those roles.
That's why, like, I understand the equal rights, and trust me, when it comes to pay and how women are treated, I believe that should be equal. But when it comes to us being equal, I don't necessarily believe it, because there are a lot of times where women are a lot better than us, like in many areas. I would even say women are a lot better than us, and then there's some areas where men are better than women as well. So for them to say we want to be equal, be sure you're careful about what you're asking, because if you're saying we want to be equal, then when it comes to proposing, like, hey, you proposing me, all right, you take care of me now. Like, I want you to take care of me.
Honestly, and like, obviously we're being super dramatic about it.
Yeah, of course.
Because because a woman can propose and then everything will be normal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not going to be weird about it, or roles aren't going to be completely changed. But if we're looking at an aspect of dating and things like that, because that is a thing now. They're like, hey, whoever asks to on the date, I think that's who should pay for it. Mm-hmm. Like, granted, if the man lets you pay for it, he full of shit. Like, just
if he don't say nothing,
like,
it's like,
no,
like is this going to be split, or he look at you like,
no, she's paying. She
said she got it.
Yeah,
don't
like
worry
now,
yeah, she
like,
got it.
Now you might have a little bit of red flags. So, like, yes, we're being dramatic about it, but I think just based off of that, that's why I made the comment of saying I think the man should love you a little bit more than you love him. That's the only reason why I said it, from that aspect of, if that man really, really, really love you, he gonna propose. He ain't gonna know hesitation. He ain't gonna need to be coerced into it. He ain't gonna need nothing else. Coerced.
Man.
I had to make sure I got it out so y'all understood. Like,
she went down.
And that's the only reason why I said it. Not from the aspect of, like, he gotta love you more in every aspect of every lifespan and everything that you ever do. But what I'm saying is, if that man love you a little bit more than you love him, in the aspect of, like, he really want that effort and he really want to be with
like,
you,
I want to take care of you,
he gonna do it.
If you're coming from that aspect of, I want to take care of you, like, marry me, I want to love you,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
like,
so that part I understand.
That's why I was like, why are you looking at me so stupid? Like, do you understand
the way
I'm
you
saying?
explained, you literally was just like, he got to love you more.
He do.
Chelsea said, if I have to ask for your hand, you just don't respect me enough. Honor me, and I will most definitely honor you.
So sorry.
Yeah, because and that goes back to he's taking you in. Like,
yeah,
technically, even if he doesn't have his own house and he's bringing you into his house, he's still bringing you into his life. As far as, I'm going to support you, you're going to rest on me. Like, don't worry.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna make sure everything is going to happen the way that it should. And then in response, the woman, more times than not, she responds to that with, all right, bet, since you're going to support me, you're going to let me rest on you, I'm going to make sure you got everything you need.
Yeah, like, we're good to make sure you can provide for the family and we all good type of situation. Yeah. But as we come to the end and conclusion of this lovely podcast,
Word.
Basically all in all to say for us, because we're all about love, quite frankly, I could care less what you do, sis. I'm just letting you know why I think a lot of people are probably like, nah, you probably shouldn't do that. Like, you probably shouldn't. And these are the reasons why. Now, reasons why you should is, hey, if you feel like y'all love each other and you feel like he does want to propose, but he's at that point where he's like, I don't know if she would say yes or things like that, then, like I said, all of that is, everything is circumstantial. But you should have a conversation first because you might be ruining a really amazing proposal that he had planned 5 months from now.
Yeah.
And you just, in the middle of the mall, decide to get on one knee and propose to this man with a ring. And he can't say no, because then if he say no, you're going to be mad for like the rest of your life. And you're going to throw in his face.
And it's going to be your fault.
Yeah, then it's going to be like, because, you know, we got cameras now. People going to record it and be like, dang. Yeah. You know, there's no coming back from that. And then he can't say yes because then he's going to be like, but I don't want to say yes to this. Like, I feel some type of way. You know?
Yeah.
But all in all, like I said, do you, sis, live your life. If you feel like you need to propose, go for it. Just know the consequences. Anyway. But that is, do you have anything else you would like to add on to this lovely podcast today? Nah.
I think that was good. What y'all think of that? Comment. You know, share. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, before we go ahead, like it, share, tag somebody, do what you gotta do.
Tag that nigga that you with.
Screenshot us.
Yeah. Oh.
Send it to your mama.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyway, before we go, so peace, love, happiness. Keep a smile on your face and stay positive. If you don't know your purpose in life, please find it because your life will be so much better. Stay swaggy, y'all. Peace.